Max.
Just been catching up on stuff as well.
Yeah, all those
Um,
things I keep telling you to read.
Had a little bit of a play of a Oblivion remaster.
Oh yeah, I've heard a bit about that.
Because it dropped on
Never
Game Pass, so I was like, all right.
sure, why not? I don't need that
um,
40 hours of my life.
40.
Yeah, I know it's a lot more.
Tried,
But
yeah, that's like a third of a single
that's like
run through.
that's like 3 days for you.
Um, it's wild, man. Like it's exactly how I remember it. I know that there's like a big pair of nostalgia goggles on.
Yeah.
That like my brain's upscaled the graphics. I am very aware of that because I know how bad it looked.
Yeah. Well, it was an
um,
old game.
yeah, it's a
It's an old
20-year-old game,
Yeah.
but it's so what I find interesting. I'll talk about this and then we'll jump straight into the manga. Uh, apparently, they used the original framework for like the brains of the game, and then they run Unreal 5 over the top of it
Yeah.
for the body slash graphics of it all. So you get the authentic feel of the original with a lot of updates and upgrades and stuff from over the years. Plus, then you get the shiny new graphics with Unreal 5 running everything else over the top. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And I think with the success of this, we'll probably see a resurgence of
I've
all that.
heard Fallout 3 is also getting the same treatment, which would be pretty
Why?
cool. I'm not gonna lie. I
How's it
love
any
Fallout
different to
3.
Fallout 3 and 4 and whatever else? I mean, is it really that much different? Or is it just story?
It's the story. I think New Vegas is definitely my favorite now. But
Hmm.
3 is a close second. The whole quest to go find your dad and then unraveling the mystery of like your father was really cool.
Yeah.
I digged it.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Your dad was someone famous in that too.
I'm now starting
Jean-Luc
to
Picard.
understand when my parents groaned over remakes and new
Oh yeah,
versions of and all that sort of
yeah.
stuff. 'Cause I'm seeing all this stuff crop up and again, and I'm just like, can't we just make something original, please? Can we?
I mean,
You remember when the first game came out and it blew everyone's minds? Can't we do that again?
I didn't pay for the game. I mean, technically I did. I've got Game Pass sub,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'll probably play a little bit more. I don't remember
You're right.
anything
Sure.
past like the opening sequence of Oblivion. Everything
Yeah.
is Elder Scrolls is like Skyrim related now in my brain.
Basically the same game, right?
Apparently not. Even just like finishing the tutorial, I was like, God damn, this is so different.
Yeah.
Same but different, you know, like the combat system and everything's more flexible and open. I don't know, it's weird. It's hard to explain. They
Well,
kind
there's
of
been
like
a lot of upgrades
yeah.
to the
Anyway,
battles.
manga news.
Yes.
Hey
Let's get to the
everybody.
thing that we
Uh
were meant to do here.
Welcome to episode 90 of Read This Way, your manga news for the week. Yeah,
The
that's
week.
words.
We're not doing the year. It's a little early for that.
It could be.
What news?
Talking about the new series dropped this week. One that Logan told me to catch up on. Yatara,
What?
Yatarara? Is that?
That's Yadara.
Yeah, that one. Yatara.
Yeah.
um, and yeah, just there's not a great deal of news, but you know us, we'll probably end up spending like 40 minutes on it.
Yeah, we'll find something to talk about. We always say there isn't much news, and then we end up talking for like 2 hours about news.
Yeah.
I think the manga/anime news wheel is a little bit slow at the moment because we've got all the new stuff's out, and there isn't a lot of new manga sort of dropping at the moment. Like we had one new title dropped this week, and
Yeah.
it just feels like everything's sort of settling down at the moment. And Japan's
Well, I think we're
all
meant to get another one
Star
next
Wars
week as
crazy
well.
at the moment as well. So when that settles down, it'll go back to regular news. I find it so bizarre that they do the big giant Star Wars festival rollout in Tokyo.
Yeah, they do. They're obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I think because isn't what's the movie that heavily inspired Star Wars?
Oh, the I
It's
know
not
the
5
name,
G.
Akira Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress.
That's the
Hidden Fortress?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds, well, at least sounds right.
Yeah, that was the base idea that he had, but I
Plus,
mean,
like
he ripped from a lot of stuff,
yeah, there
which is
was like
fine,
the
you know.
hero's journey.
Yeah.
He even kind of ripped from the Bible, which is
Oh yeah.
why is it Vader? Yeah, Vader ends
Yeah.
up being like almost like an immaculate conception.
Yeah. Almost.
It's wild.
We're assuming.
Well, she states that he doesn't have a father.
Yeah.
And that pseudo ticks the box of that
Yeah.
hero archetype, either being an immaculate conception or some
Just
form
being,
of orphan.
yeah. Just being a boy with,
Fatherless.
yeah, with no daddy. But
So maybe that's
technically, Jesus had a daddy. He hung around.
we had two daddies technically.
Yeah. Yes. Not that I think, yeah, but no. Anyway, off track. Digress. Where were we? Not talking about Star Wars and religion. We were talking about manga news.
Weirdest cold open ever.
Yeah, sorry.
Welcome, Nerdburger.
Hello.
Nerdburger. Yeah, I can speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shiba Inu Rooms volumes 1 to 3 are receiving a reprint already, which is good news.
That doesn't surprise me too much. Did you read much of that?
No.
It's super cute overload. I've only read like a couple of chapters. It's not my vibe. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I can definitely see why it's popular.
It definitely seems to fall into the like cute girls, cute things doing cute things.
Cute animals doing cute things.
Yeah. Which
the whole concept. What's the concept of the story? Without looking at it.
I'm assuming they run a Shiba Inu cafe.
No, what happens is
like a petting room.
A girl moved into a cheap apartment because she needs it. She's doing an internship style thing, so she's getting paid a really low wage. So she needs a cheap apartment. So she rents a cheap apartment at this place, and just after she's finished signing the paperwork, they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, the room's haunted." In matter of fact, not just this room, but every room in this entire complex is haunted by dead dogs. So they
okay.
They're ghost dogs. They can't leave the apartment, and they've got personalities.
It's kind of selling me a bit more on it.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. And then of course she's got one in her room, and it goes. The crazy thing is it kind of like goes through their backstories and everything, and they had a really sad life, and in order, so the whole concept is in order to help these dogs pass on to the next life, they have to make them happy. And
that's cute.
And so they have to, they have to play with them and walk them and do all that sort of stuff, and eventually they get a chance to rise into doggy heaven or whatever it is. And that's the basic concept of it. And you're right, it is super cute, and it's drawn in the most super cute way. So I can completely understand why it's getting reprinted.
Good lord.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a bit of a tearjerker now and then too. It's clearly planned that way.
So this is actually one of Shueisha. I had to remember the publisher. One of their other magazines still kind of falls under the Jump library. It is for, I believe, Jump Square. And as you can see over here, you've got Blood Blockade Battlefront. So this is one of their quarterly
Okay.
magazines.
Yeah.
I think it is, or bi-monthly. One of the two.
Is that Grey Man? Grey Man.
I think that's the Grey Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because I've been waiting for new chapters of that for a while. That's
As everybody
the
has.
one,
Yeah.
the terminal hiatus manga that I am a big fan of.
Yeah.
I can only get attached to so many that will go terminally hiatus at a time.
Yeah, look, between this and
Hunter
Hunter x Hunter and quite a few others that over the years that have
Vagabond.
happened. Yeah. No, that was by choice.
Allegedly.
The dude went off and did a completely different series.
Yeah, I think it was his mental state. I don't think he could handle doing Vagabond anymore.
I think he just got bored, right? You know, sometimes you just get bored. You come
Black
back
Lagoon,
to it.
then.
You just
What about Black
got bored.
Lagoon, then?
Yeah, Black Lagoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I can understand having trouble with. Yeah, it'll be good to see that coming back. So, is there a particular reason for this cover, or we just
no,
like
just wanted to show it. Yeah, it's just cool.
Nice.
And the adjacent story of D. Grey Man getting more chapters, which is always cool.
Yeah. Is there a bit more story to that, or you're not quite sure what's going on?
Yeah, they're just slowly releasing the final chapters of like the story, wrapping it up, sort of thing. I don't know how much longer there's going to be of it. And it's been a few months since I've checked in on it, so yeah. It's a hard one because it kind of goes on hiatus. We won't get anything for a while, and then all of a sudden we'll start getting chapters again.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Hey, Jack, welcome. We're just talking about new chapters of D. Grey Man, which is insane. I love that series. I grew up watching the anime back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I should get onto the manga actually because I struggled with the anime, to be honest. I couldn't get into it.
It kind of suffers from the early 2000s era of anime where it's very hit and miss. Yeah, pacing is very iffy.
Yeah.
And then there was also a lot of anime only endings for things like Blue Exorcist.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a very interesting time. Yeah, Solito, Full Metal Alchemist was in that time as well.
Yeah, where they were running out faster than they could produce.
They still had so much to pull from though. Like they could have done a Siren anime for starters.
At least it's a full story arc. It doesn't feel rushed at all. Yeah, definitely someone needs to pick that up and do it, but do it properly.
I mean,
Saru, I'm talking to you.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I knew you would enjoy that. I feel like they would.
Man.
But they're a bit busy doing what right now, which I am incredibly excited for.
What are they doing?
They're doing Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
They're making it look like the manga. It visually looks like the manga. Finally, someone is reproducing the original look of the series. and it's that the original movie was fantastic, but it veered so heavily from the original source, as far as I'm concerned, that it was its own thing. Like, sure, they were based on a pretty similar idea, and Oshii took basically one story which covered like 3 chapters and turned it into a movie. And it was fantastic, but compared to the rest of the body of work, it just didn't touch on. So it'll be
I
nice.
remember watching, because is there 2 full 24 episode seasons after it came out after the movies? And
There was the
Laughing Man, and was it
Laughing Man.
Standalone Complex?
I thought Laughing Man was Standalone Complex. He was a part of. There was Standalone Complex part season 1, season 2. Season 1 was Laughing Man. Season 2 was something else. I can't remember. And then there's been independent stories and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I know there's been a whole bunch of like spin-off stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever you would call it.
Yeah, but all of that stuff has been influenced by the movie and not the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it'll be nice.
I'm trying to find if
I sent you that picture not long ago, but
I was trying to find it.
Yeah, you can probably just Google it up, or anybody can Google it up. It'll come up. I recently realized that Science Saru is actually Science Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't aware of that.
That's why the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a shot from the manga. But the image that Science Saru dropped was a in-house production image, and it looked fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't. That was sort of on the spot. If you just do Science Saru, if you type in Science Saru, it's like the first thing that comes up. In my search, anyway. Those guys. Man, I forgot they worked on Ping Pong. You remember Ping Pong?
Yes.
So good. So good. Now that is a study like case. If you want to be an animator, you watch that series, because it is just groundbreakingly beautiful to watch. Absolutely stunning work. Just yeah. The story in that is, it's about ping pong. It's more about
kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was going to be a video.
It's a video. We're going to get in trouble. No, we're not. Man.
I mean, maybe.
So that's oh man, come on. That's the one.
Oh, this is interesting. So they're also doing Thunder. Santa manga from Paru that did Beastars.
And that's dropping later this year, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I knew about this. That has to be like end of year, like December release, right?
It's got to be. They would be crazy not to. They would have
2026. We're looking for new Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. No, 2026 is already lining up to be a pretty stellar year for more goodies.
We're meant to be getting Witch Hat Atelier at some point this year as well. I heard spring, but I don't know who's spring. So
Oh, okay. Spring, like an
I think we're
animation
in
studio. Oh no, that as in yes, spring. Gotcha.
as in season
Gotcha.
release, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we're currently in the spring season, aren't we, for anime release? Because it's our autumn
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be there spring.
usually. Yeah.
Crazy northerners.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Directly under that, they're actually recruiting people for their production team.
Yeah, because they're busy. They're busy folk.
Yeah. They are
They're
insane.
the new mapper. They're gonna start taking on too many projects and treating their staff like crap. Let's go.
Oh, they went insane after Devilman.
Yeah, that really made a big impact. Which I
Mm.
will talk about Devilman a little bit later. Because I've been reading that.
Oh,
And yeah, once that dropped, it really blew people's mind because it wasn't just a great animation project, but the writing for it, the music for it, everything fell really well. And you could tell it had like a little bit of Watanabe style influence in there as well. The way the camera worked and the pacing of the material was kind of similar to his works as well. So it was a phenomenal piece of work.
oh, you just reminded me. I need to
Watch episode 3.
check to see if there's a new episode. Yeah.
There is. Well, there's episode 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up to date with To Be Hero X. That is so interesting.
It's a fascinating story. It's fascinating.
Even just the production. I just sit back. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. And because I watched Supercube, the first episode of Supercube, because it's free. You can jump online and watch that for free
Right.
on iQIYI, which is the Chinese Netflix, I guess, for animated Chinese fantasy. Man, they've got a massive library. So if you're into like that Chinese romantic fantasy kind of the whole garb and all the super kung fu and legends and gods and all that sort of stuff, they are just chock full of it. $10 a month, and you can consume as much as you like on there. It's open to overseas. Anybody can sign up and go for it. This is not an advertisement. It's just a informative piece.
I wish.
So iQIYI produced Supercube, which is, I think, also based on a webtoon series, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
It's got a very webtoon vibe to it. Anyway, it's got the whole downtrodden guy becomes super cool after getting superpowers kind of thing. The animation is the vast majority of it's hand drawn. The action and choreography is absolutely phenomenal. It's really, really stunning to watch. But the only reason you should watch it is for the big action set pieces. This is not going to be an in-depth, wonderful series about stuff. It's really just going to be about fighting, and it looks fantastic. The studio that's done it, I have a feeling, has grabbed a hold of some old animators from a few other studios, because it's the animation techniques and the movement of the camera and the action itself I've seen before. It's not new stuff, but it is beautifully
Like it's
done.
a manhwa.
Yeah,
It's
not a dangwa. It's a manhwa.
Well, according to this, who has said that
Okay.
this is the publisher, I
Wow,
believe.
that looks so very different to the anime. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're really like big on action set pieces, then I highly recommend it. I personally think the animation is better than 2B Hero X, but that's a personal preference.
Yeah.
I would say that the styling, design, and production of 2B Hero X is above, but the animation quality is better in Supercube. By far, there's a lot more detail and nuances in the characters in Supercube in their movement, whereas 2B Hero X is a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives me, I'd say nothing against Hero X. It just gives me video game animation vibes. Like it could be a in between action scenes kind of feel. The concept behind the story is great. Don't get me wrong, it's a great idea. Popularity giving you more power. That sounds like a yeah, a psychopath's dream. That's what that is.
Well, I
Sociopath
mean, you've got
live
fear
for
as
that.
well, so
Yeah, indeed. So it would be a fascinating world to live in, indeed. So I will keep following along. I definitely will. What service?
Have you seen Super Psychic Policeman Chojo?
No, but I want to.
This is its 5th volume.
Chojo Senpai. Interesting. No, I'm not familiar with this series.
In similar vein of new things coming out, My Hero Academia Ultra Artworks cover will be coming out in June 4th, and I think I've got something that I need to pre-order at work.
Is that's just an art? It's just an art book.
It's just an art book.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It looks,
I want it.
Yeah.
His work is absolutely stunning. I reckon Hirikoshi is definitely peak artwork compared to almost anybody else floating around at the moment.
I hope that he definitely gets a well-deserved break, and the Ishida treatment, if and when he comes back.
Yeah,
he gets to release whenever.
Yeah. That would be fantastic. I would love to see him work on a passion project that is a little less influenced by the superhero world.
I think we're getting another like epilogue chapter. Maybe.
Didn't he already do one? Or is that not out yet?
Maybe that's the one that I'm thinking of, the one that's not out yet.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be 2 total.
Okay. Just to cap off that he didn't just turn into a Macca's worker.
Astro Royale has also got its 5th cover.
Been canned, hasn't it?
Has it?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, it did. That you are correct. So this will be the last cover then.
Last or second last? Because it's still in the weeklies. And if is this so is this one the one that's landing now, or is it the one that's landing in the future when they've finished wrapping up?
That's a very good question.
I'm going to assume that this is the one that's dropping now, and there's going to be a 6th.
We also got Volume 7 of Kagurabachi. Does that answer your question?
I don't know, does it? No. I'm still not reading this on a regular basis. I flick through it. I don't read it. I
How
look at
dare
it
you? I mean,
I just look at it for the action. I know exactly what's happening. I don't need to read it. I know exactly what's happening.
It's very well translated. Yeah, I can. You can, but you shouldn't. Read it. Bad man.
I got other things to read. I like the pretty pictures. I love his style. I loved his style from day one. It's always been really good, and it's unique enough and different enough from everyone else to pinpoint that it's him doing the artwork on something. Like his faces are just different. Yeah.
Very interested to see what the next few chapters hold. Because
after that last one, oof, that was fire, absolute fire. Like you haven't even seen my final form yet. It was great.
This one, Deep Rapture by Kita Noda, has ended today with chapter 28. Well, actually, it's not today. It was the other day. Volume 4 will be going on sale June.
I was about to say it's not just one volume, that's multiple volumes. I guess it didn't do well in sales. That's some really nice watercolor work there.
Yeah,
it's cute.
Actually, you know what? I need to finish the it finished or got cancelled. I can't remember which one. Which it was the kind of like the period piece Food Wars. The dude had like
the giant fish
blade.
yeah. Yes.
I can't remember what it was called.
That was a very pretty series. Very pretty.
Yeah, series. I don't think I finished it, and then it ended. And I haven't gone.
It was called the Kajiki
Kajiki Chef. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the one. Wow,
Blue Box is up to volume 20 now.
Wow. As far as a romance series goes, that's a long time. I don't understand how romance series can run for so long. Oh, so cool.
Unless they're about other things.
Like sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a...
Oh, man. The so Osaragi cool. Chapter this week was insane.
It was nice seeing a little bit of backstory there for her.
Yeah.
And seeing him take on the old guy is really cool as well.
So this is actually for Jump Giga. Yeah, so they are in spring at the moment.
Okay.
So I wonder if we are going to get Witch Hat Atelier.
They look like a 90s boy band.
They really do.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting how young Sakamoto is.
Yeah, you remember? He's only like 8 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gives off such old man vibes, though.
Yeah,
when he's
they're all so young. It's the mustache. Yeah. Which he doesn't retain when he goes young. That's so confusing.
Huh. That's a good point.
I never really took that into effect. It's almost like he's got disguising skills like the other guy.
Superman?
No, the other guy in the picture. What's his name?
Oh,
the disguising guy.
Yeah, I've forgotten now that you've put me on the spot.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of names in that book to remember. Don't worry.
No, I can't. Nothing's coming to me.
That's right. You're banging off so hard though. It's been running for so long now, and it still goes hard every week. Love it. Still my favorite.
What did you think of Nice Prison?
You know what I think of Nice Prison.
I know, but you gotta tell the people.
I gotta verbalize it. I didn't really like it, and look, it's not its fault. I don't like gag manga.
It's really weird so far. I I admittedly haven't gotten through the first chapter myself as well. But I want to go back and give it a try. But this is the weirdest shit that I have seen in a while. But not. It doesn't really
some of
have
the scenes,
anything kind of grabbing me story wise. Like Dan to Dan was really weird, but it had substance for me to kind of grab onto. Like you said, this is just feeling very gag after gag. Weird for
and
the
it's
sake of
all
weird.
and it's all references to things that we don't understand because of cultural differences. And this is where comedy stuff tends to land flat. And it doesn't transcend the borders as well. It's never as popular overseas. I mean, things like Mashal was popular because it wasn't a gag series, it was a comedy series. And there's a difference. Like a gag series like this is they're running jokes every 3 minutes, and we're not getting the jokes because they're culturally embedded. They're running jokes about things that have happened on the news, or some of the things that are happened in previous manga or even gag manga that you may not have or may have read. And there's so much inside joke stuff that it just goes straight over my head. And I'm the first person to admit that I don't find this funny because I don't understand it. Not because it's not funny. I just don't get it because I can't.
It's
I'm sure it's
definitely
funny.
very extra. I'll be keeping an eye on it and see how it goes. But yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Actually, a gag manga series that did hit me really well was Bo. Remember that series? Man, that
that's
thing is.
showing your age.
Well, I know it's really old, but it hit really well because it was that time period where it it referenced a lot of the super popular anime series and manga series at the time, so I could get those references really easily. And because it was a fighting based series,
Wow, that
it,
was
it
early 2000s.
yeah, it's not that long ago. Yeah, it referenced things like JoJo's and Dragon Ball and all those series that were super popular in that time period. It's fantastic. It was wild and weird. Yeah.
Yep. And those are nostril hairs, yeah?
Yes, that's his power. That's his
Yeah.
martial arts technique, as he uses his nostril hairs to defeat his enemies.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And nobody's normal. Like, I mean, you look at him, like the guy in the background with his pompadour and all that sort of stuff. There's a flying pig. It's a lot of crazy, but it's enjoyable. Complete series. I'm gonna have to get my hands on that.
Blue Box got a color page in this issue. Yeah.
It's cute.
Of the weekly. Shinobi Undercover also got a color page.
You consumed any of it?
No, actually. I should. It looks cute.
Isn't it Shinobi?
Is my dyslexia coming through again?
Oh no, it says Shinobi. I thought it was Shinobi, or am I thinking of a different series?
Kill Blue.
Very cute.
I think that's it.
That's actually a really nicely designed piece of work. Even the fonts they've used for the text is all like crayon style finish. Looks good.
I dig it. I dig it. Um. Do you remember this one? It's called If I Get Serious, I Can Kill You.
No, but no, I'm
it's
intrigued.
I think it's on Manga Plus. Oh yeah, it says down the bottom, Jump Plus Comics. So they're going to be launching a new one-shot titled "Cute Coliseum." It should be out tomorrow.
I read it today.
It is out today. Good?
It's okay. It's okay. It was unusual. I'll give him that. The concept is there's an underground fight ring where girls fight dressed up in their cutest outfits, and it's
Oh yeah.
gives them more power the cuter they are. And it's all about this girl who is obsessed with gyaru fashion.
I'm noticing Gyaru making like a big resurgence.
Thank you, Dan to
lately.
Dan.
Yeah, like it being at the
Yeah.
forefront.
There's been a
Yeah.
few series over the past, say, 4 years where it's actually gone pretty big.
Yeah. Like is it resurging over there as
Don't
well?
think so.
Or?
Don't think so. I think what's happened is the time that it was popular amongst people, those people have gotten old enough to make manga and write manga. So it's circled back around to being in popular media again, because that's how they remember things back when they were kids. And that's the popular thing that was at that time period. So like most nostalgic things work.
Mid 2000s.
Yeah, I think I'm not a big aficionado of the fashion scene. Gyaru was I think it's even 90s.
Yeah.
You're gonna find that out for me though. Yeah. Anyway, this girl who's obsessed with Gyaru enters this competition. Except she's the only one that thinks Gyaru is cute, and everybody else thinks she looks like rubbish. But little do they know that she's like a national boxing champion as well. So she steps in with not only, the whole get up, looking cute kind of business, but she's also a trained fighter, which gives her kind of the hands up. So it's fun. It's just fun. Easy read, being a one shot. Definitely worth a read if you want something different to consume. There's nothing bad about it. It's also not groundbreaking at the same time. Just good. What else did we have in? What? I'm losing you. Oh, we've lost him. It's just me. Oh, this isn't good.
I'm back.
Oh, there he is. I'm just standing there looking into the darkness going, uh-oh. Where'd he go?
I don't know what happened to my internet. I think my VPN clicked over into a different region, and everything just stopped on my end.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm back. You were saying Gyaru?
Gyaru, cute. Read it. It's great.
It's this one, right?
Cutie Coliseum. Yeah.
That does look kind of fun.
It is. It's pure fun. It's nothing to be taken seriously. It's not trying to be something too outrageous. Just enjoyable.
Nice.
There was a couple other one shots this week too, which were creator awards. Creator awards they were. So it was nice seeing the indie folk kicking in up on the menu this week. Yeah. So we
Ooh, Hard
had,
Metal Punch looks cool.
yeah, it's super short.
Ooh, what
But
is
it's
this? Oh, that's the one you told me about.
that's the one I
Dang it.
told you about. That was
I thought you were having a fever dream because
no.
I didn't. I was like, I want to eat the arm of God. What is he on about? I've got to go to work.
Yeah. Okay, it was one of those sort of scenarios. It's a pretty crazy story, and it's long. It's like 90 pages long. It's a bit of a beast. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
looks.
If you're a creative person, you're going to take a lot more away from it than someone who isn't.
Do you
Because you
remember
can,
Time Paradox Ghost Rider?
yeah, you like that a lot.
Yeah, I did.
You
Anyway,
talk
sorry,
about it a lot. I feel
that's
like
what
I've
you
read it.
reminded me of. Because I said the same thing about that series.
Yeah.
Um,
You take away a lot
yeah,
more when you know what they're actually going through.
yeah. Well, I mean, it
And
was kind
all
of
of
like
that.
the whole thing was about imposter syndrome, but
Yeah.
quite
Oh, well, this
literally.
is um a little bit of that as well on a large. Ah, it's sort of a breakdown of how much artists tend to torture themselves because they think they're not good enough. Because there's always someone better.
His name's Dave.
Yeah. Because it's European. It's not set in Japan.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Starts off with, oh, I got this dude's arm, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's beautifully done. It really is. That cover looks phenomenal too.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think I'm gonna have to definitely bump that up to 2BR.
the whole story is just chock full of self-doubt, irony, um just a lot of internal analyzing and yeah, that sort of business. It's a little bit of a sneak peek into the mind of a creative, I guess, a bit.
Yeah.
But we've got to understand, not everybody's like this. Not everybody thinks this way. Not everybody behaves this way, and that's why there's two paradoxical like characters. One's on one side and one's on the other.
Oh, so it's a bit like
Of
a Jekyll Hyde sort of scenario.
oh no, they're two separate, literally,
Oh,
literally
okay.
two different characters. It's about best friends that grow up together.
Right.
Yeah,
Lovers, BL.
shame, but no,
Oh, okay.
no, just straight up friends.
Okay.
Love hate is probably the better term for it in the end.
Oh, so this. Oh, right. Yeah, this came out almost a week ago. So just after last week.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been on Thursday or Friday that I sent you a text like, hey, you gotta
Yeah.
read this crazy title of a series. Not as crazy as that new anime that was announced recently.
Which one's that?
I got betrayed by my team in a dungeon, so I got revenge. It's like it's not a title, it's like a description
A
of the story.
synopsis. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
synopsis, but they call it a title.
Ah, so it's a
Yeah,
light
outrageous.
novel.
Yeah, probably. Just another
Generally, those are the
yeah, just trying to be different now.
So along with Cutie Coliseum, we also got another 3. Well, we got one shot, Pale Blue, which is about Yakyu, baseball.
Yep.
This one.
Which I had a flick through. It didn't interest me too much.
And then there's the 2 Manga Plus creators from the creators portal. The Silver Awards for January.
Now, I swear I've read Phantom Limbs before. So, Metal Hard Punch, is it? Metal Hard Punch? Short and sweet.
Hard Metal Punch.
Hard Metal Punch. It's essentially exactly what it sounds like. It's a very straightforward story about a kid who has a prosthetic arm who does underground fighting.
Sick.
Goes and punches someone and comes back. That's a super duper quick breakdown. It's got some nice action work in it. It's got great like world building in that short space of time, because it's not a long series, but it gives you enough. Like, it gives you more background and character development than Solo Leveling does in the first season. Sorry, can't help myself. No, I mean, it gives you a lot for the short run that it has. It feels like it's longer than it is because it is paced really, really well and decides when to add character backgrounds and stuff like that pretty well. So 58 pages.
Ooh.
Yeah. It looks like it could be a weekly.
Dang. Cool. I was looking for, I guess there isn't actually a cover page for it.
Oh, no. There's no sort of cover for it. Now the next one is a bit longer, and this is actually really beautifully done. Not quite sure which
looks really cool.
It's from.
It looks like something straight out of the 2000s.
Yeah, it definitely has that vibe. It's got that real heavy outline, crazy character kind of feel to it. If you flick through it, there's a guy. It's like big, gruff, sailor-looking guy. A few pages in, and you're just like, he's just straight out of like this guy, straight out of early 2000s. Eye patch and all. But it's got a cool power system.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It's about exercising ghosts using your phantom limb. So if you get, you know how people have phantom limb syndrome when they get an arm cut off or something like that, it's under that pretense that if you mentally think about it enough, if you train it enough, that limb actually comes into formation and you can use it in a spiritual way,
as a phantom limb.
Yeah. It's a cool concept. I really didn't mind it.
I'd vibe a series about that.
You didn't give it a read, because I know you'll like it. It's definitely got you vibes to it.
I'm liking the looks of it. Dang, that dude looks dapper as hell. Look at that. Oh, handsome man.
Yeah. You get a beard and an eye patch, and you go on, put an eye patch on, man.
Dilf if ever I seen one.
Man, I haven't heard that phrase for a while.
Yeah, right. Boruto has reached 1 million copies in circulation with 4 volumes. Specifically the 2 Blue Vortex, which is like the Shippuden equivalent, right? Like there's a break.
I believe so. Yeah. There's a break between the two that shifts from the young Boruto to the older Boruto after death.
Where he's like looking old Chad and.
Yeah, I think it's AD. I think Naruto's dead.
Wait, really?
This part, I believe so. I could be horribly wrong. It's a whole different power system too. They've gone away from chakra. They've destroyed chakra, essentially.
Okay.
using this new system. Yeah.
Rightio.
That's like I haven't read it. I jump in on it and read a chapter like once every 5 chapters or something like that, just to see how it's going. And man, everybody's so drip with fashion in this series. They're all like to the nines, every one of them, and the power system's crazy weird. It's more magic than it is ninja at
I
all.
mean,
Like it's completely dropped the ninja vibe, and he's 100% straight up magic now. I know, but at the end of Naruto, it was essentially the same thing. They were just battling on giant frogs, but they've really gone hardline into the sorcery side of things.
yeah, right.
It looks so cool. Look at those cuffs and the bracelet.
It looks so
and the fingerless
edgy. I
gloves.
love it.
Yeah, and the multiple belts. You can't go wrong, right? It looks so good.
Not only does his headband have a scar across the hidden leaf, but he's also got one going down across his eye.
And that's because the cut
Yeah.
went all the way down.
And he's got like fingerless glove.
Yeah.
Singular fingerless glove.
It's almost like they've got the JoJo's guy in to do all the design work.
I love it.
It looks good. It does make me want to pick it up and give it a proper read.
Yeah, it does look really cool.
And a Yu-Gi-Oh card, just if you needed.
Yeah, no. I don't know what the other one is though. Oh, yeah. While we were talking about Boruto still, I found this, but this was actually meant to be about Kagurabachi having a big announcement in the next couple of weeks. Everyone's kind of thinking it's going to be anime, but
they've already said
no, I know, but like more information about it.
Yeah, it will be.
It could very well just be a popularity poll.
It'll be a studio who's producing it.
They also did have in one of the artist comments them talking about going out for the like celebratory beef hot pot, but like the really expensive one. I can't remember what it's called. So yeah, they're definitely celebrating something.
Yeah, man, I'd love to have one of those hot pots with that group of people. Like I'd like to sit down and have a chat to these guys.
Beer fly on the wall. Man, Blue Box is smashing numbers. It's got like 7.9 million copies in circulation.
That's because it blends the two most popular genres on the market.
19 volumes.
Yeah.
The answer to your question about Astro Royale is 6. There's going to be 6 volumes.
Okay.
By July 4th, which will also have a exclusive 19-page epilogue. Prologues are at the start.
Yeah,
I know things.
Do both. Why not? What if they did an epilogue which was actually going back to the very start? You know how they do that? This is how we got here kind of thing.
Kind of like a pre-sequel.
Yeah, but it's an epilogue.
Yeah, an epi-prologue.
Yeah.
Gyaru was from the 90s. You were right, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. I'm glad you found that.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's pretty much it for news. Yeah.
I don't know. If that's the case, what you been reading? Anything new?
I'm actually catching up on Wild Strawberry.
Nice, man. How long have I been yelling at you for that?
But
actually. It's
you've
one
been
of
yelling
many.
like,
I
"Hey man,
know
catch up
about
on Trojan.
everything.
Hey man, catch up on this." So I'm like, I've taken a little break from that to read Yatra, and I attempted to read Nice Prison,
Yep.
and then got distracted, and then had to make dinner. Locked
You
it up.
can't do Yatara and Nice Prison. That is just like complete polar
Yeah,
opposites.
yeah, and I was like, I kind of just want to read Yatra while I was reading Nice Prison. I was like sending you screenshots, being like, "What is this?"
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I can't
I
cope
was,
with
but
this right now.
admittedly, I was laughing quite a bit, so it was doing its job. But yeah, it was weird.
But you were laughing at the absolute silliness of
Yeah, it was like absurdity.
the scene. The absurdity of the scene, not so much the reason for the scene.
I think I feel like no, I feel like that was the reason for the scene was the absurdity of it, like
Yeah.
because that I actually read a few more pages than you did.
Yeah, it says up.
It definitely seems to be like leaning hard into like absurdity humor.
Hmm.
His I don't know if you got up to it, like, but there's like a scene where the what was it, the super role model prisoners, I think it is, the yeah, something along those lines. um he arrives, and they're all horsing around, um like it's real super slapstick, like they're like a whole bunch of
Yeah.
kids in the schoolyard, but these are meant to be like hardened criminals and like murderers and stuff, but they're like using the prison guards as like calligraphy pens.
Yeah,
um
yeah. Just weird, silly stuff.
one's using another one as like a dog for like a dog grooming pageant. It was just really random shit. And so, and then he arrives, and they're all like, "Oh shit, we need to turn it down a bit." And he's got like this giant uh, ball and chain attached to him, and before I could even think of it myself, the yeah, the straight man of the series, which is the young girl who is
Yeah.
wanting to be a prison guard, she immediately brings it to our attention. Like, how the hell did that even fit through the door? Like it's
It's one of
obscenely
those,
huge.
yeah, yeah, it's one of those
Um,
series that's gonna poke fun
like
at itself.
essentially, yeah, poke fun as
Yeah.
itself. Um, and then he then shrinks it like it works like an Alexa. Um, it's really weird, and that's pretty much exactly how she describes it as well. Like, in the little text above the bubbles, she's just like, "Wait, it works like an Alexa." So yeah, it's really weird. Um, you're right though. Yatara is definitely up my alley. I was also um struggling to read it because I couldn't find my glasses earlier today. So I definitely feel like I need an old man today. I need to go get my eyes tested again, I think.
Yeah. Or just wear your glasses like a good boy.
Yeah. No, I was tired and I couldn't find them, and it's too
Yeah.
hard.
Put it on the back burner. Deal with that when you can deal with that.
Just gonna make myself feel bad.
Yeah. But it's a good series. The whole concept of essentially primal animal rearing children to eat them.
But he can just then vomit up whenever he's eaten.
If he chooses to.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
It's
So
so confusing. How does that work?
he's an entity that has been around since the beginning of time.
Okay.
I don't know how far you got along with it, but
Only like 3 chapters in.
so that should have explained a little bit by now.
No, just the fact that he
Basically,
can just and
but
like
the reason he's there, the reason he's turned up, the reason That
Some
is,
dude that wanted the extermination of humanity sacrifices himself, and then the demon shows up, and he's like, "Man, you're not the boss of me."
yeah, yeah, eats him, then goes around and starts eating everyone. Essentially, he's a anti-overpopulation device.
Yeah,
So
right.
he essentially he comes back every few millennia to start consuming people to bust down the population.
It's really weird. Like
Mm.
that, I don't know how much that thought concept has been explored much in the West, but there's quite a few series that have come out of Japan, like Gurren Lagann, for example. Like there's like a population cap. If
Mm.
something reaches this level, then something bad happens.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well, history sort of dictates that's how it works.
I
Once
suppose. Yeah,
once
you get too big
something
too
hits that
quickly.
point, then suddenly something will happen, be it war, be it famine, be it disease. Something usually happens to bust those walls down and take the population back to a more manageable environment for the environment. But that isn't happening right now because we're too peaceful, we're living too long, and you know, basics though borderline. Yeah.
This
So
one does give you a warning when you start each chapter as well.
this is so
Um,
sad.
so just bear that in mind going into it. So far, though, it's not. I mean, maybe I'm just kind of getting a bit desensitized
I
because
think you
I've
might
been
be.
reading.
We've
Yeah,
been
no, I've
reading a
been
lot of
reading a lot
dark
of
stuff
trauma
lately,
stuff. Actually, yeah,
and it is very trauma
yeah. No,
based.
those
And
kids aren't in good shape from the get
no,
go.
nope, nope.
But I suppose because I knew what was going to happen, because you kind of told me, I was just like waiting for it. And then it just kind of gets really cute and wholesome.
Yes.
Even though he is like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird because yeah, he's the
He's
whole point is
essentially
that
trying to develop a recipe to make the children taste better. And in order to do that, he has to make them happy. So when they're happy, they taste better, as
and
opposed to when
also I
they're sad.
feel like he part of it is also him growing a bond, right?
Yes, he's accidentally not realizing what this concept is. He's completely
Yeah.
devoid of the idea of family, friendship, and all that sort of stuff. So when it starts taking him hold of him, he has no idea.
But
Even for
also
the more recent chapters, he still has no idea what's going on.
because of his ability, he can have his cake and eat it too, quite
Yeah.
literally. So there's no real stakes in it for me at the moment. So that's what I was kind of, I guess,
Seems that
getting at.
way. Yeah. Seems that
Yeah.
way. Things change.
Okay.
And it heads in
Do you,
directions you do not expect.
like? Yeah, it feels more wholesome than anything else at the
Hmm.
moment. I was gonna say yeah. So the warning is still pretty
No,
apt.
no, it's still maintaining a lot of cute wholesomeness, but it's sheared slightly into the direction of action a bit more now.
Okay.
Um, and there's more information coming up about the entity, who he is, what he is, all that sort of stuff. What it is, I should say, because it's it's a blob that eats things. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a very interesting ride. I hope it keeps going. I really do, because it's one of the more interesting series floating around at the moment, I think.
Did you follow up on Guguga?
Oh, I didn't. No. Oh, wait a minute. Did
It
I miss
actually
it? When did it drop?
so GGG stands for Great Generational Gathering.
Uh, oh, I did.
Maybe.
Man. When did
It
that?
was really good.
Did it come out
So
like Sunday or something?
follow up to the story we did last week on GGG. The lettering for now both chapters, but specifically chapter 1 has been fixed. It actually looks normal. Like they've gone
Looks like
through.
it's been done by a human.
This is the font that they're using now, standard like anime ace type font. And the topography is actually, there's some effort put in. Because yeah, it that really put a dampener on me reading it.
Yeah.
But I've read both chapters now and I'm loving it. You're right, it feels like Kindergarten Wars.
And Sakamoto
I,
sort of kind of squished together.
I'd honestly just give it mostly Kindergarten Wars. I think it just because I don't know. I'm failing to see the Sakamoto stand out because I
It's
mean,
the teacher student kind of relationship. That
yeah,
sort
but I
of
mean, Kindergarten
appears
Wars
to be.
kind of has that with its like romancy buddy cop type.
Nah, that's straight up romance, man.
Yeah, true.
Everybody's boning everybody in that series. I don't know if you kept up with it.
Yeah, no, I need to catch
Yeah,
up on that one actually.
yeah.
All
It
right.
got quite romancy,
Okay.
incredibly bloody. Like it gets even more blood ridden than it previously was, but it also delves heavy into the romance side of things as well. Yeah.
I'm loving this series
Mm,
so much.
it's a good start.
Chapter 2, because I pretty much when I saw that they'd fixed up the lettering, I reread, well, pretty much read the first chapter again, and then just went straight into number 2. I'm really enjoying where like the tone and direction that we're getting. I suppose with like Sakamoto always coming in and saving the day, especially early Sakamoto.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Yeah,
like first 5 chapters Sakamoto kind of where
yeah,
it was
yeah,
still
yeah.
kind of goofy comedy without the seriousness.
So we have like a family open day in chapter 2, and the the big thing is like, oh, don't you think that that's like a big security issue? Now that he's been hired on as essentially like the old folks home's bodyguard.
Mhm.
And we get introduced to cute little Jessica, who is super into knitting. A whole ensemble for her estranged. That's the word I was after. Estranged grandson after her husband and son had like a massive falling out and stuff. Omega has said that he has a plan in place, which is just these giant overt metal detectors to basically be like, look, guys, it's going to be too much hassle for you to come in. Just don't even bother. And the only ones that would even attempt to penetrate the security wouldn't be able to because there'd be like such low tier assassins.
Yeah.
Um, except pretty early on in the chapter, we find out that someone's posing as someone's grandchild and has basically been like mailing in pieces of a gun to build it
Oh.
on set. Like it gets really extra really quickly. Um, it's just really fun. I'm kind of getting like nothing really about it is similar, but it has like a similar sort of tone and vibe to like Spy Family at the
I
moment
knew
with
you were going to say that, where
its
yeah,
episodic dopamine sort of stories.
yeah.
But like, yeah, it's the other side, I guess, because like Oh no, because yeah, yours an assassin. That's right. Never mind. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely sitting in that vibe of
Yeah,
not Assassination Classroom, Kindergarten Wars,
yeah.
Sakamoto Days, and Spy Family. But it's so far
Well,
it's
it's a lot of
cementing
heart.
its own flavor. Yeah,
Yeah. I think the representation of the older generation is what's going to carry this through
yeah.
really well, because there's nothing else that does that at the moment. So it's a nice change of pace as opposed to having young people everywhere all the time.
It definitely seems to be like a not necessarily like in a condescending way of like respect your elders, but these are
No,
people that are quite literally. It actually states that he's no longer a person that wants to like take people's lives or whatever, like an assassin, but he wants to be the type of killer that gives people the happiest of their end of days type thing, which is why he's like started the old folks home.
he's tried to reason it. He's tried to shoehorn the reason in there somehow to make it
Yeah.
all make sense, and that makes sense for the character though. Trying
Yeah.
to like shoehorn that absolutely terrible childhood that he had into a more palatable um, image of where he wants to go in the future.
Yeah.
I guess only knowing killing, that's just how things roll out, right?
Well, the thing that made Omega so cool was that he only punished evildoers,
Yes. He was a
which
superhero.
the guy who breaks in during the family event um, kind of misses the whole point of like him being like a good assassin, not
Yeah.
not just being the best, but like also being a morally good person. He missed that point. Um, so it's a tried and true formula so far of like little stories that we're getting, but they're hitting very well.
Yeah.
I am really enjoying it. And also, it was another 60 pager.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was huge.
Must have had this one banked up. Maybe it's come in from another magazine.
Um, this was probably like
And
my favorite page from this.
oh no, not the suit.
Yeah, it's really nice little flame
Uh,
effects.
I
He's
know, but it's so like that's hurting my. I haven't read the story and it's hurting my heart already. I'm just like,
oh
ah!
yeah, oh yeah, is really cute. And so far, you just really shouldn't mess with the older generation. Is what
No.
I'm learning from this.
They know things and they've seen things. So yeah, that's good.
But yeah, it's definitely my favorite of the newer series that we've been getting.
Yeah.
Um, is that one Jump Plus or is that Jump Proper?
If it's
It
not
is. No,
Jump
it's Jump
Proper, it
Plus.
should be a Jump Proper.
Nice Prison is Jump Proper.
Seriously?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's a release schedule thing.
Could be.
Maybe they're not willing to jump onto
Dude,
the weekly bandwagon just yet.
Mad is so cool.
So good.
This is your weekly dose of you should read Mad. It is
Yeah.
incredible. Oh my god.
Yeah. Everybody I've recommended it to and that has read it has just gone, this is something else.
Absolute cinema. Man, I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that we're getting physical copies of these. Like I
Yeah.
want Shipitarian on my shelves.
I want it so bad.
I
Love
just
that series so
because
much.
I've been keeping an eye on ISBNs and whatnot. But so far there's just digital releases, or just straight Japanese ones, no localizations yet. And being in Australia, we then have to wait like an extra 2 months
Yeah.
after the localization. So the struggle is real for actually us having any contribution to
Yeah.
the manga and its success.
And are these tariffs going to affect us?
Ooh, I don't know actually.
Because even though the product is made in China,
Yeah,
the company that it's coming from is going to be American.
I don't know, man.
Who knows?
I'm
Who knows?
just a dude on the internet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn it. Okay. Right.
Centuria is almost at the 50 chapter mark. If you haven't read it, what are you doing?
Read it. This is your virtual slap
Um,
in the face. Get onto that.
those are my big two. I've actually also been catching up on because I have
So much
physical
catching up for
books.
you.
I have physical books of Witch Hat Atelier that I'm reading, and oh my god, I can't wait for the anime for this. Just the books, the paneling alone has some just gorgeous parts where just for no reason you'll turn a page and it has like the most gorgeous border that you've ever seen. Just for no reason. And
I got bored that day and just wanted to draw a border.
I'm only up to like I think I'm only halfway through volume 2. But there was like one scene. I mean, this is a kind of a bad example, but you go from title page, really cute artwork, and it's generally on the page turn. You'll get like
Oh, you get these little borders running around the edge. Yeah. Nice.
Sometimes it'll just be like one or two, but they get very creative with the paneling.
Oof. That's a
And
shot.
just the artwork in general is just gorgeous. Always. And just from the trailers that we have, well, the one trailer actually that we have got, it looks like Studio Bug, the studio behind Zone 100, has given it its all, and it looks stunning. But there's been 9 months of silence, so hope everything's going well, and we get it when it's done.
It's 9 months of working. They've been busy.
But yeah, there's been not a lot of info past the trailer.
Yeah.
I think it was originally announced in 2022.
They can't. They must know that they can't screw this up. Like they cannot screw this one up.
It's
not that they screwed up Zone 100. I enjoyed Zone 100. It was well done and well put together.
I feel like this is going to propel Witch Hat Atelier. I don't know who's going to be streaming it. That's probably going to be the make or break.
If it is, it's already popular. So it's an already popular series.
It is, but I feel like this adaptation is going to make it explode. I'm very hyped for this one.
Yeah, I would say that either Disney or Netflix.
I hope it's not. I hope it's Crunchy or Netflix just for exposure.
Yeah, bloody Disney are horrible for exposure on their stuff.
Yeah. Undead Unlock got like such rough treatment.
Yeah. Not just that, but they've had so many good titles on there, and nobody even knows that they're there because they're too busy shoving down Disney princesses into their populace that you don't get to see the good stuff.
Elusive Samurai has hit chapter 200, and Witch Watch will be hitting chapter 200 next week as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they start at the same time? They must have.
Practically, yeah. And Kill Blue's almost at 100, as well as
still
New Age
banging along.
Exorcist.
I wouldn't have called it. I wouldn't have called that
Either
Kill
of those two
would last so long. New Age, I called early that it
happy
wasn't
for them.
gonna. Yeah. It's great that they've done it, and it's still plodding along. I just wouldn't have guessed it. Wouldn't have guessed it.
Actually, the War of the Adults. Have you gotten around to reading that?
No,
I haven't either. It's the one that I keep forgetting about, but it's like the one that I'm kind of most interested in. I like the cover.
Cover's great.
Mm.
I don't know if the idea is going to grab me though, of what it's about.
Do you know anything about it? Because I know nothing.
I did. I flicked through it, so I didn't read any of it. I just sort of flicked through a few pages to see what the artwork was like, to get the general vibe of it. It seems to be pretty grounded at the moment, from what I can tell. Sort of probably I'm not going to say a 100% drama, but it looks a little bit more drama-y. It looks incredibly drama-y for a shonen series, is all I'm going to say. So I don't know what kind of twist they're going to give it or what kind of idea they're going to give it to make it in this particular realm of content to be, to shape in the right direction. So there must be a plan in place that, I don't know, gives them superpowers or something. Or maybe I just didn't flick through enough of it.
No, I just saw that they've had a previous series before.
Yeah.
Called Hidarikiki no Eren. But I was just trying to figure out what it's actually about. The translation is Eren the Southpaw. It looks like she's
boxing
using graffiti.
Well, I've been delving into the wonderful world of brutality.
Pardon me. Go on.
I have been reading Goblin Slayer Year 1, which is the...
Lord. I love how I've been like going on this like whimsical journey with Witch Hat Atelier, and you're just reading like goblin rape
and gratuitous amounts of violence. Like the anime is nothing, seriously nothing compared to this. This side story or spin-off story is basically a prequel. So if you wanted to pick up Goblin Slayer, it's not a bad idea to actually start at the Year 1 series. It does make a lot more of the first part make sense. It's
is it like like almost like a retcon to make more like give more context to the beginning of the series?
Essentially a little bit, because when you start the series, he's already full-fledged Goblin Slayer, completely destroying. He knows everything about killing goblins, all that sort of stuff. This is the year beforehand where you find out who's trained him, how he got to where he was, and the things he had to do in that year. Because the year where he starts, he starts to become an adventurer, and the anime or the main story kicks off, that year beforehand is what this covers, and so much happens. Like he's coming into this with base training to kill hordes of goblins with that base training that he has, and just
right.
goes in completely blind a lot of the time and makes a lot of mistakes and causes a lot of pain for himself, as well as killing a lot of goblins. But all the characters are from the main series, because he stays with the girl on the farm and her uncle. He interacts with the same girl behind the counter at the Adventures Guild. So it's all the people that you know, but he's meeting them for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little add in too, but it's brutal. It is. And it's got a big old, well, it's not even a big warning, it's a little warning on the front cover. Like it's this little tiny, oh yeah, what's a warning? By the way, kiddies, don't read this book.
Yeah, it's like Goodnight Pun Pun. Also, it's like got a tiny little explicit content warning.
Yeah.
It's like a full-on sex scene in one of those books.
I know, but with Pun Pun, it's kind of
psychological.
Yeah, it's a lot more psychological, whereas this is just straight up brutality.
I mean, even the Berserk ones, it's the tiny little explicit content. It's like yay big.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is on par with Berserk on its level of brutality. So, I mean, there are scenes in Berserk where I'm just like, nope, that's the king. That has still got the crown of brutality sitting there. But this is borderline just as brutal. But the characters are in. It's really weird. So you swing from this like fun adventure town kind of environment where everybody's, greeting each other and wanting to go on big adventures and all that sort of stuff. All this sort of stuff's happening, and then suddenly it's just like people are being cut in half, and women are being stolen by goblins, and people's heads are being put on pikes, and then it swings back, and it's like, oh, that's that kid I knew from when I was a kid, and all that. And it just keeps swinging back between like this stock standard PG rated shonen shifts straight into like this absolutely insane R rated bunch of brutality, and it just shifts backwards and forwards between those things. There's no in between. Yeah, it's pretty intense, but it's great. It's actually, I'm really enjoying it. The artwork's nice. It's nothing super unique, but it's detailed enough. There's a lot of detail in there. So it's very enjoyable to read if you can stomach it. The other thing I've been reading that's brutal, but in a slightly different way, is the original run of Devilman by Go Nagai.
Oh, wow.
The 1977 Devilman run. Now, this thing's a little bit hard to get. I wanted to buy a copy, but it's been out of print for a bit, so you can't buy it at the moment. And they're just rolling out the collector's volume 2 edition of it, just like 680 pages. So it's a big Berserk style book, but that's not out yet. So I literally can't buy it anywhere. And if I could, I would. I'd just get it in my hands. This has been one of the biggest shocks I've read for a while, because it is so wild in the way it's done. So I don't know if you know much about Go Nagai.
A bit.
A little bit. Cutie Honey, Get a Robo, Devilman. You know all these series, right? What you don't know is before he did all that, he ran as a weekly gag manga artist for like 5 years.
Okay.
He did some of the most popular gag series in the 70s, and he was a household name. Like everybody knew who this guy was, and all
Yeah, no, I
these.
knew how. Like, I knew his level of influence was massive.
He's the dude who started the skirt flipping craze,
Of course, he is.
right? Yeah, and we know he's a little pervy.
Cool.
That's a part of his shenanigans. But he started in this whole really over the top cartoony characters, slapsticky comedy environment. He did that for years. He also was really obsessed with history and religion and all that sort of stuff as well. So he's got like this real big knowledge on much more serious content as well as doing this other stuff. So he's gone to his editor and he's gone, I want to try something different. I want to do something a little bit more substantial, and ends up doing a series that's kind of it's kind of religion inspired, Rings of Hell style seriousness. It was quite popular. I can't remember the name of the series right now. I'd have to look it up, but it was a kind of a precursor to Devilman, about a guy navigating hell, basically, and that was quite popular. And then this is super wild. So then he got the go ahead for Devilman, but he had to do an anime first. So the anime movie came before the manga series, which is crazy, right?
That is weird.
He was planning to do the manga series. The thing is the Devilman movie isn't the same character as the original run manga, so it's actually a different story.
Right.
Yeah. So the manga series that we actually get, the original run, is the Crybaby story. So the story that Saru adapted a few years back is the original Devilman story, but modernized. So they removed all the 70s component. So no, okay. So yeah.
So the manga.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. They adapted the original manga, not the movie. The movie was very different, vastly different, but it had similar bones and similar ideas behind it. So the whole idea is you have this really jarring effect of these super stylized, cartoony, goofy characters being thrown into this world where, he's got demons coming out of people in the most horrific ways, like he growing second heads or like tearing out of their bodies. They got faces where they're meant to have other body parts and stuff like that. It's really, really cool stuff. Great body horror stuff. But done in this really weird, almost Popeye style, like cartoony finish. Yeah, it's not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting something a little bit grittier and a little bit crazy dark, but it has this real sort of goofy imagery. But they're swearing. People's heads are getting torn off. He's talking about tearing people's guts out and all sorts of stuff. So it's like the content itself is so jarring to the visual style that's happening that it was huge. People loved this thing like crazy. They ate it up. It became super popular because it was just so different to everything else that was happening at the time. Influencing mangaka for 60 years old now, almost.
Insanely influential.
Yeah, insanely influential, and for good reason. because the story is phenomenal. Like the characters are just wild and over the top. And from the get-go, there's this looming sense of doom. Like the whole idea is you got your two main characters, best friends, and one of the friends' dad is a archaeologist, and he finds all these devil remnants floating around, and he ends up trying to commune with the devil, and he does, and it takes over his body, so he sets himself on fire after he tries to kill his own son. So he sets himself on fire and leaves a will and all this information for his son. And the information is, oh, by the way, son, devils are coming to take over the world, and there's no about it. But here's a thing that you might be able to do about it. And he's basically leaves him a guide on how to get a demon to merge with you, but not let them take over your personality.
Yeah.
So you need
And
the
if
right.
he knew how to do that,
person.
why did it fail for
No,
him?
because he didn't have the right mentality for it. So he wasn't in the right place. You needed someone who had a pure intention and absolute intention for good and for righteous in order for the devil to not take over.
Right.
So that's where his best friend comes in, who's a complete and absolute dunce and only understands heroism and bravery and all that sort of stuff, do anything for his best friend. So when his best friend goes, hey, dude, we're going to turn into devils. Are you down? And he's like, yeah, anything for you. Let's do this together. And it's like the first few volumes are so bizarre because his character is just so over the top and forward, and they're just the camaraderie between them, and you can tell that one is completely innocent and, you know, heartfelt and really driven towards helping his friend, and the other one is really manipulative and knows what's going on and is using his friend to do a thing. So you get these two sort of dynamics that happen there. That you remember from the Crybaby series, that whole scene in the club where he starts cutting people up, and it's in there. It's in this book.
Right. Okay.
He goes down, and it's so wild. He's like, okay, let's go into the secret hatch in my mansion, and they go down the secret hatch, which takes them down in an elevator. And when he opens the doors, there's a fucking go-go club in there full of hippies that are dancing. He's like, this is where it's going to happen. We're going to get the devils in, and we're going to take over this party. And he just starts cutting people up, and the devils turn up. It's mind-boggling how he came up with this stuff. It really is. And to think it was all done in the 70s, it must have blown people's minds when they read this thing.
Yeah. It honestly looks like it could almost slot in with like Astro Boy, with like the
visual style,
tone, the visual style. Yeah. Obviously when they're like depicting demons and stuff, it's a lot more edgier, I guess. But even then, depends on the demon,
goofy.
I guess.
They still look goofy. They don't look threatening or anything like that. Not until they eat little children and then install them into their shell on their back. That's when things start to get a little bit weird and dark. Once the thing is nobody's safe. The vast majority of the characters die relatively quickly, but the amount of times he'll introduce like a 5-year-old kid and kill them in the next 3 pages, it's that kind of constant brutality that's happening throughout the series.
Yeah.
And he never wins. This is another thing is, like, our MC never wins. He'll win the fight, but he's lost everything in the process.
Yeah.
And it keeps affecting his humanity. Every time he loses something from these fights, a little bit of his humanity gets sort of left behind as well. So throughout the series, he's steadily declining back into being a devil. And look, this thing has been around for a long time. So if you don't know how the story goes, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched the original,
He
if you haven't
becomes a
watched
crybaby.
Crybaby, if you haven't watched any content in relation to Devilman, pause this, go watch it, go read it, do whatever.
Plug your ears. Mute us for
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah. So basically the concept is the fight between devils and angels, right?
Mm.
Yep. So in that moment when they're in the club and they're trying to be merge with a devil, our MC merges with like one of the most powerful devils, right? He's like god tier level devil. His best friend, who is a scheming, manipulative, crazy guy, ends up getting taken over by an angel. So he merges with an angel in the process. So they don't cover this in any of the animated series that I've found. Is the friend's backstory and
Yeah,
how
right.
he comes about understanding his powers and his representation in the story as well. So it delves into that a lot more, which is really good.
Okay.
But as the story progresses, you just get this constant, overwhelming, this is never going to work. There is nothing we can do. This is going to happen. The world is going to end. All we can do is just deal. And the more characters that die, the more sad he gets until he finally loses the female character, which is the friend that he lives with in their house because he's an orphan. He lives with
Yep.
these people, and she's oh man, their relationship is so toxic. Like she at the start, she's like, I don't like you, man, because you're such a wimp and you cry every time. This is why they call the series Crybaby, because they call him a
Yeah.
crybaby in the original. You're a crybaby and you suck. And then as soon as he gets the
The glow
devil
up.
in him,
Yeah, he's got that
he
dog in
gets
him.
he's got the eyeliner under the eyes and all that sort of stuff
Yeah.
going. And he's acting all cool. She's just like, oh man, I love you now. And she's like, I'll carry your bag for you and I'll wait for you everywhere you go. And she becomes this like mega simp, like almost obsessed with him on some levels. And it's
Yeah.
meant to come off like you can tell it's meant to come off as a comedic trope kind of thing, but it feels really icky. The way she
Yeah.
behaves is really icky
Like really
and
superficial.
yes, and very obsessive and fanatical.
Oh,
Like
like a
she's
little
pulling
bunny
knives
boiler.
on people. Kind
Oh,
of, yeah. She's a bit of a psychopath. Um,
cool.
which also matches his personality so well when he gets into that whole demon mode. And the more he travels down in that direction, the more she keeps pushing him. It's it's really, really bad.
It does sound really toxic.
Yeah, it is. And she ends up dying, of course. And when she dies, that's his tipping point. And her death is him then tipping over fully into devil realm. And then, of course, his best friend has to go, got to reset this planet, and ends up destroying everyone.
Mhm. I
So
think
it's,
this is gonna be a reset, guys. I don't think this
yeah.
is
So from reading this, I realized that they've done like an absolutely phenomenal job on Crybaby. It's as close to the original as you can get without going on those 70s style tropes and
Yeah.
losing the connectivity between the audience and the more modern environments. So
While you were talking about Crybaby and the thing before Crybaby, that I can't remember right now. Uh, I actually found a couple more little last minute news bits. Volume 13 of Marriage Toxin looks dope.
Nice. I love that it's still going. I really do.
Yeah. I need to catch up on Marriage Toxin, actually. So I found a couple that looked like had a few volumes that were standouts. This is called Bad Babies Don't Cry. No idea what it's about. Apparently, it is a suspense rom-com about 4 strangers who happen to save a little girl's life who fell off a train station 7 years ago. Sounds wild.
Sounds intriguing.
I
hope
also,
there's time
I
travel
just,
involved.
I love the aesthetic of the cover. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
There was this one called Dinosaur Man. Oh, sorry. It's called Dragon and Ape Rio Ture, which is a Dinosaur Man spy thriller. Historical spy action thriller set in 1941 China.
Wow.
With a bipedal dinosaur recruits an opium addicted Japanese former military intelligence officer.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
What?
These are Case
These
Morning
are
KC.
non
Is it
completely
Kodansha?
unrelated to Jump. Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna have
I
to do
just do
some
K.
deep diving after this to figure out where these are.
Yeah.
This one looked really cool as well. This is Time Travel Mystery, the time jumping girl in December. I think this one's actually a light novel.
Just a cool cover.
Yeah.
Oh, she's sitting on a dude. Took me a minute.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. Blood Addict is a dark action fantasy.
Looks like Blood the Lad.
Dark fantasy action about a money-hungry boy from the slums who is searching for his missing mother with the help of a strange vampire-like girl while the society is flooded with an illegal drug which turns people into blood-addicted monsters.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
And something that has resurfaced that I thought was well and truly done. Triple X Holic is coming back after being on hiatus.
Wow. Like
From
30
March
years?
2017. So yeah, like 8 years.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the sequel manga. I had a quick look. So you've got Triple X Holic. It finished. Then they rebooted it, kind of. It continues directly on from where the first one finished. It then ran for a bit. There's another change of name to reflect events that happen in the story. And that's where we're currently up to now, where it's just come back from hiatus as of Oh wait, no, coming up. Yeah, March was when they went on hiatus.
Well, there's going to be a lot of happy people out there then.
Yeah, insane. I never thought Clamp was gonna go back to Holic. It holds a little special place in my heart. I love it's a little cute little supernatural story with a lot of like cultural folklore sort of stuff. A lot of things that kind of actually get mentioned or similar spooky sci-fi yokai sort of stuff gets mentioned in this and also in Dan to Dan. Less so in depthly in Dan to Dan. But yeah, just like extra flavor
Yeah.
And Holic does a really good way, like a nice little deep dive into each one because it's very episodic. I prefer the anime. Yuko seems a lot softer than she does in the manga. She is a lot colder in the manga, whereas the voice acting, especially for the dub, makes her feel a lot warmer as a person.
Yeah.
In the manga, she seems very almost standoffish, and that's weird because kind of it's kind of a romance. I don't know, man. The whole series is weird.
Maybe I'll give it a run.
Yeah,
Have a bit of.
I'm
I've never
excited to
read
get back
any of
into
it.
it. I've
I
actually got.
never watched any of the show either, so I.
Yeah, I mean it's what,
Yeah.
2000 mid 2000 anime now.
Yeah.
I think I've got most of the first set.
Okay. Some nice covers.
Yeah. And Clamp is a all-woman team that did like a whole bunch of series like Tsubasa,
Yeah.
Cloud Captor Sakura, which they actually just finished rebooting that as well with Clear Card. And they did the character designs for Code Geass.
Yeah. Yes, they did. That's why they're all gangly.
Yeah. Excessively long limbs.
Yes. Yes.
Which looks really fun in the anime for this. It gives them a lot of like creative liberties with like the expression of the characters. Like they do a lot of noodle arms and things like that. And because they've got such long limbs, it looks even more exaggerated. Last two couple of news before we peace out for this week. Reborn as a vending machine is getting a season 2.
Yeah.
Yep. As well as Rising of the Shield Hero is getting season 4 trailer reveal. I didn't know if it was going to survive the turtle arc? Wasn't that the rough bit that everyone was talking about?
Season 2 had issues.
Oh, was it?
3,
Oh man,
yeah. Season 3 picked up again.
I'm a full season behind.
I didn't see the problem. The problem was in the fact that they skipped over a lot of story in the manga.
Yeah. Didn't they just like cut out like a whole chunk?
A whole arc. There was a whole arc cut out between season 1 and 2.
Hopefully that isn't necessary.
Well, I'm assuming if they cut it out, it wasn't necessary to the story.
Well, you would think that, but you know full well that that's not the case.
It depends on where you trim, I guess.
Just one last thing before we do actually go. I wanted to bring to everybody's attention that the current top 3 on nondescript streaming service that has everything. The top 3 anime are. I'm skipping number 2, but we got One Piece, number 2, at Solo Leveling, Naruto Shippuden, and then To Be Hero X. That's top 5, right? Number 2 is Please Put Them on Takamine-san, uncensored.
Of course it is.
What is going on, you degenerate
Are you just reading the right-hand side there?
Yeah.
Changes every day.
Really?
It's based on the daily results. And because new episodes are released each day, it tells you what's popular on that day. I don't know if they've got a chart, an overall chart. I don't think they do.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little surprised that no, I'm not.
Yeah, if that episode just dropped.
Supercube's on here now too.
Oh, okay. Finally.
Yeah.
Someone
It wasn't there.
someone finally found a way to rip it.
It wasn't there before.
Yeah. That a while.
7 episodes, sub and dub.
Nice. Check it out because it is really beautiful animation. It is.
Alrighty, guys. Yeah. I was just checking to see if there was anything else, but there wasn't.
I thought you did that out.
Disassociating.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all the socials, share us with your friends, leave us on for your dogs and cats while you go to work. Give us that tasty watch time. We will be back 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday, talking about manga and anime and probably other things as well, because we started this one talking about games.
Catch
you later, Burger.
Bye-bye.
Latest.